Leave a like on this video and you'll actually receive nothing. So this story time all happened when I was in the 5th grade, and no dude, I'm not in love with my sister. I don't even have a sister, but I did have a friend who claimed that he was truly in love with his sister. That's why the title's in quotes, because I'm quoting someone. Anyway, so this all happened back when I was in 5th grade. Actually, a really good time in my life. Specifically, this happened over the summer of 5th grade. So basically, me and my friend, let me just call him Max. Yeah, me and my friend Max went to summer camp together, and this was our first kind of like sleepaway wood adventure camp. So we went out into like the woods and such. This was kind of my first camp away from home, so I went with a friend this time. And we got there, and there wasn't really. It was kind of just us sticking together at first because we didn't know anyone. So eventually, Max and I make our way over to kind of the sign-up sheet, and we sign into the camp, and we eventually say goodbye to our parents, and then we're just kind of like, all right, well, we do want to make friends on this trip. We could just stick with each other all the time, but that isn't the whole point of getting out there with an adventure camp, an overnight camp. The whole point of the camp is to kind of test my boundaries and just to try new things. And we're like, yeah, all right. So we looked over to kind of like the corner of the room, and we saw kind of a group of people, and it looked like enough people that they didn't all know each other because we just assumed not a huge group of people were gonna come in knowing each other. So we head over to the group, and they actually seemed pretty friendly, and we started talking with them. So at this point, I'm a bit shyer just because I'm in 5th grade. I wasn't really like talking to a lot of people. I'm actually more or less an extrovert now, but back in the day, I was like a pretty mad introvert. But my friend Max, he was pretty good with people, so I just kind of like tag along in the conversation, and we're getting to know some people, and then eventually we get called back to our cabins. And most of the people we don't have a cabin with, but we actually do have a cabin with 2 people. The other person isn't really that important, but we met someone who will be very important down the line in the story. His name was Johnny. Let me just say it first, Johnny seemed like such a normal dude. So we get in there, right? So the 2 guys in the group, we head over. It's about, I would say 7 to 8 per cabin. And there's kind of like a split in the cabin. So there's like 4 people on one side, 4 people on the other. And there's 2 counselors who kind of live in this kind of middle section. So since me and Max said on our applications to the camp saying that we're coming together, basically what happened was we got assigned to the same dorm, and we also got assigned to the same hall or the same wing, since there are 2 wings to the dorm. And it was us 2, another guy, and Johnny. So skip a little bit forward, we get completely unpacked, we move in, we get to know each other, we all go to the common room, and let me just say, my 2 camp counselors were actually super chill guys. Like, I was expecting them to be like your typical adult, but the thing is, like, looking back, these guys were like 24, they were probably just out of college, they still had like a lot of kid energy, which you kind of need a lot of kid energy if you're going to be a camp counselor. In a wilderness adventure camp counselor. And I'm not digging on that or ragging on that at all. If anything, like, I aspire to have some of the energy like these guys when I'm older. Anyway, so we're all getting to know each other, and we talk about where we're from, and we're just saying like what we do, what our hobbies are, and let me just say, nothing that strange happens the first night. Does it continue like that? Well, not exactly. Anyway, so the next day rolls around. Just for reference, we're at this camp for 1 week. You can go for 2 weeks, but we decided the first time we went, we're going to do the 1 week option because this is our first time away from home. And we weren't 100% sure if we're ready for 2 weeks at this time. So basically what happened was the night before, every single day, you'd sign up for activities during the day. And the people that were in your groups were kind of mixed. You'd sometimes have people from your cabin, but it would mostly just be new people. So basically we had 2 classes, or not classes, but kind of like adventure, whatever. They're not classes, but they're like camp activities. We had 2 of those in the beginning of the day and then 2 of those at the end of the day. And after my first 2 activities, I was actually having a pretty good time. Like the first one was kind of okay, but I do remember the second one was like rock climbing. That was actually really fun. I never did it before, which is kind of a thing that like every kid did, but I was just out there. I was like, oh my God, this is kind of fun. Anyways, in the middle of the day, we have lunch, and the people you sit with at lunch, those are the people in your cabin. So basically, I sat down with the people in my cabin, and, Johnny's at my cabin, so Johnny was there. And we kind of like, the camp counselors weren't there for some reason. I think they had to do something, or maybe they're running late. So we kind of like talked about more, not private or personal things, but kind of just things that maybe you don't want to talk when adults are around. Basically, we started asking around like, ooh, have you kissed it? Oh, we were like in 5th grade, dude. So we went around kind of talking about like if we also had any relationships with anyone, and at the time, no, I was pretty unsuccessful, so I had to admit that no, I wasn't doing that well. But other people were like, yeah, I got a girlfriend or whatever. Like most of the guys actually were probably in the same boat as me, just not doing that well. We're kind of going around in a circle, like answering this question. So obviously, eventually it'll get to Johnny. And I didn't have any suspicions. This seemed like a totally normal guy at first. Everything was completely normal. And then Johnny was like, "Yeah, I'm with someone right now. I have a bit of a relationship going." And we're like, "Oh, that's so cool." Didn't think anything of it. Dude, if you were in my position, there's no reason for you to think that this guy's a weirdo or anything, or I was gonna say that he's a weirdo. Like, the thing is, guys, like, he was a normal guy. I know that that might seem hard to seem with what, like, the story is gonna continue on to be, but he just seemed like a normal guy. He had normal people things. He was interested in football, bro. He was going to school. He did normal guy things at this time. He was normal. I mean, obviously not, but he seemed normal. Anyway, so the day just keeps going. I'm having like a really good time, and we have dinner, we get back, then we have these kind of like nighttime activities, which we do as a big whole group, and we played this really cool like fort tag thing. It was like super complicated. It was kind of weird. It was almost like Dungeons and Dragons level of complicated, which I haven't really played that game, but I heard it's difficult, but like tag. So I had no idea what was going on, but I was winning, so we were good. Right, so we get back to the cabin. We brush our teeth, and we kind of like go off to our own wing. So the camp counselors, they go back to like their kind of like central pod area. The other guys go to the other side of the cabin, and it's just us four. Me, Johnny, my friend, irrelevant kid number 4. Now, he was a cool guy. He just doesn't matter for the story. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. So, we're going up into our bunks. I had bottom bunk because I was afraid of rolling out for some reason. Yeah, I was the bottom bunk kid, but that's irrelevant to the story. But anyways, we're tucked in. Little Connor's just thinking about things 5th grade Connor would think about at that time. Like, I don't know, Star Wars, Pokemon cards, the Lego Star Wars on the Wii, the next game coming out, if there was a next game, how to beat the next level, how to get all those like canister things. Dude, some of those things were hard. Okay, not part of the story. Anyways, I was just in bed. I was chilling. I was having a good time. And eventually, Johnny was just like, looks over at us and he's like, "Hey, can I tell you guys a secret?" And then we were all like, "Yeah, dude, what's up, Johnny? Well, what do you want to tell us? What's the secret you want to tell us?" He was like, how we're talking about like people that our girlfriends, people we liked back in the day. I was like, yeah, I know that. He said, you guys might not be, you might not know who, I'm in love with. We're like, yeah, we don't know. You didn't specify. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm in love with my sister." And this was our reaction. Right, so after he said that, it was just like dead silence. Like no one said anything. And he's just like, "Yeah, but it's okay. Like it's fine." Because, if you say something is fine after you say something that isn't fine, it becomes fine. Funny life hack number 7. So let me just say that the rest of the night was, to put it lightly, a little bit awkward. It was a little bit strange for all of us. We kind of like, eventually we started talking about other things, but it was really awkward because after he said that like he was in love with his sister or something, we really just didn't question it and we just moved forwards. It was just like 2 minutes, like kind of like people like, "I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna brush my teeth again." Even though they all brushed their teeth and went to the bathroom like 5 minutes ago, still. Anyway, so the next day rolls around, and let me just say that the people in our cabin, they were kind of snitches, myself included, because like, you meet all these new people, you really have nothing in common with them. What are you going to talk about besides someone in my cabin literally said they're in love with their sister? Anyway, so the day goes on, and, it's a pretty chill day. Things are going pretty normal, right? We have lunch, dinner, activities, I forgot exactly what, but we had a pretty fun game in the afternoon. Because every single afternoon, or night, because it's after dinner, every single night we had a really fun game. I just don't remember any single one besides the first one. Anyways, we make it back to the cabin, right? And we're called in for a meeting. And the last time we had a meeting was kind of the introductory meeting. And it wasn't like a normal thing to have a like before we head off to bed meeting. So we all kind of knew what was coming. But this time it was the 2 camp counselors and Johnny in the front. And we're like, "Oh no, dude. Oh no, what is going to happen?" But basically what happens was Johnny, kind of like came out in front of us and said, "Hey guys, like, I just want to let you know that I made that up. I just, I just wanted he basically just wanted attention. He basically said he just wanted a fun and interesting story, and he just wanted to like make us excited and interested, and it kind of just all kind of like backfired and more or less just blew up in his face." So yeah, after Johnny admitted that, we kind of just went on with our lives. And, we weren't ever that close with Johnny afterwards because one, we thought it was kind of weird, and two, like he did have a pretty big lie. Like it didn't even matter that he lied. It was more about what he lied about. Just it wasn't even like important. It was just weird. So, the camp went on and, nothing really happened afterwards. But yeah, Johnny he kind of had a tough time for the rest of the camp for somewhat obvious reasons. And yeah, that's the story.
Today's story is about a subscriber who got with his best friend's sister. Today's story is a little bit more interesting because usually in the stories, the subscriber is kind of the good guy of the story, but obviously in this case, it's a little bit less clear. So yeah, sit back, relax, maybe grab something to drink, maybe something to eat, and yeah, let's enjoy the story. So the subscriber, let's call this guy Logan, right? And Logan had a friend, and his friend let's call him Owen, right? So Logan and Owen, they've been friends for a long time, right? They weren't I don't think that they were friends for 20 years or 10 plus years or something, but they were very decent friends for several years at this point. And Owen also had a sister, and Owen's sister's name was Jess, and obviously Jess is pretty integral to the story, if you can tell by the title. But anyways, right, kind of like Logan and Jess had a long history of being kind of friendly and a little bit flirty with each other. And when I mean a little bit flirty, I mean they're not oh my god, I want to hold your hand platonically. That's what I was going to say before I cut myself off because I wanted advertisements on this video because I liked money. Yeah, hold your hand. They weren't going around oh you're so cute today, something cringe like that. No, they were just it was just a little bit flirty. I don't know 100% how to explain it, but I'm sure you guys have been in situations where you just gotten the vibe. You know what I'm talking about, right? But obviously, right, Jess was Logan's best friend's sister. So it was not very obvious to, obviously there's some tension there. There's a little bit of tension of Logan just will absolutely be breaking bro code 100%. Here's the thing, right? It really depends on the person. They're definitely, look, I know some guys who would not care. I mean, they say that. I don't totally believe it, but whatever, right? There are people that will openly say that they don't care. But here's the thing, guys. Phyllis, sit down, learn a little life advice, right? Most cases, people will care. They will care a lot. And especially in this situation, Owen was definitely the kid that it would be 100% breaking bro code for Logan to get with his sister. 100%. I think that there's very few people out there that would be any bit chill with it. Owen was definitely not one of those 3 people on planet Earth who would be okay with it, right? He was not one of those 3 individuals. Anyways, right, so this whole story, this whole situation, as I'll put it, this whole event occurred one night when Logan and Owen decided to have kind of a big sleepover get-together thing over on the weekend, right? Anyways, it's a normal weekend, and Logan goes over to Owen's house. Anyways, right, so it all started out when Logan and Owen were just sitting on the couch, playing some Xbox, catching up. I think it'd been a second since they seen each other, but by that I mean maybe a couple weeks. I don't 100% no context. They might have still been in high school. Maybe they were in middle. Dude, I don't know how old they were, but for some reason they had been apart from each other for just a little bit, and they decided to do a little bit of catching up, see each other over in the weekend. So they're sitting on the couch playing some Xbox, having a good time. Man, things were looking good. And, in the background, right, one of them had their Bitcoin miners running. They were getting bread. They were getting paid. They were getting $100 million every single minute, and it was a wonderful time of day. It's a time to be alive. Anyways, right, so Logan and Owen, they're sitting there playing some Xbox or whatever, right? They're having a good time. And then Owen's sister, Jess, she walks down and she's like, oh, Logan, it's been so long. It's been a long time since I've seen you. It's been so hard not seeing you. It's been such a long, I'm sorry, I'll shut up now. I'm sorry. So, right, anyways, Logan and Jess, they just start talking a lot, right? Logan, the subscriber, by the way, to remind you. Logan, the subscriber, Owen's the friend, Jess, the sister. But yeah, Logan went and the Jess, they were really hitting it off. They were talking a lot. And while it wasn't, overtly flirty, they weren't, talking about, I don't know, they weren't asking for certain measurements of body parts or anything weird like that. But they were, definitely, what the fuck? No, but they were definitely, going at it, talking with each other, they were definitely, and it was for, 30 minutes, too. It was a long time. They were talking about school, life, relationships, everything like that. And at one point, right, Jess even brings up, she asks, Logan, are you in a relationship or anything? Do you have a girlfriend? Like, how's it going with that? And Logan's like, no, actually, I'm on the market right now. And it was kind of this weird moment where even I feel like even Owen was like kind of looked over like, pause, bro. What? No. But it was like it wasn't anything too strange. And at least Owen didn't suspect anything at this point. And yeah, so Logan and Jess were kind of talking, and Logan didn't ask anything like as overtly strange as like what Jess asked, because that was pretty blatant, if I'm being honest. Like that was a little bit suspect when it comes to questions. But he did, they were talking, things were pretty good. And Logan and Owen were going to go out to dinner, and they were going to go to this restaurant. And Owen's like, hey, like you and Logan seem to be hitting it off well. Do you want to come out and, eat with us? Obviously, right. Dude wasn't trying to like set up his actual sister, right? He wasn't trying to set up his actual sister with his best friend. He just thought that they were cool. And he was like, oh, like, whatever. Do you want to come with us? Like, you guys obviously seem to be very friendly. They were very friendly indeed, Owen. I mean, yeah, Owen. So they all go to dinner. I don't know. It's maybe like a steakhouse or something, like one of those really good, restaurants or something. I like steakhouses. Very solid. Get it medium rare. Get some fries. I don't know what I'm going off on that tangent. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, so they're at the steakhouse, right? And they're talking. And, so it's kind of like one of those round... It's not like a table. It's not a table. It's like a booth. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's one of those kind of like round booths. And it goes Logan, Jess, and then Owen on the other side, right? So Logan and like Jess are sitting kind of like next to each other in a sense, but they're sitting together in this kind of like round booth or whatever. And, they're still talking, man. Like Owen and like, not Owen, Jess and Logan, like they're still talking, man. They're still going off. They're still asking each other. If anything, bro, like Owen starts going on his phone. Logan isn't even talking to him anymore, dude. Like Owen is actually at the point where he'll go on his phone a little bit. He'll check the menu. He'll kind of look around. And at one point, right, Owen's like, dude, I'm going to go to the bathroom and go wash my hands, whatever, right? And that's where things got weird. That's when Jess kind of looks at Logan. She's like, you really don't have a girlfriend? And he's like, yeah, like, it's been a little tough, like unlucky, been off the market, haven't been on my game. She's like, oh, that surprises me. Like, you're a very good looking guy. Like, I would expect you to. Like, okay, major red flag alert or whatever. And like, here's the thing, dude. Logan was definitely feeling some kind of way as well. But, dude, you can't just, like... Because imagine, right, that, first of all, like, Logan, like, imagine he made a move. And imagine he read... Oh, okay, first of all, if you make a move anyway, there are a ton of complications, a ton of, like, issues with that. But anyways, imagine he makes a move, or he made a move, and he completely read the room wrong. How would Jess would have 100% told Owen about it, and then that would have been a very awkward situation. Like, he's his ride. Owen's his actual ride. He probably would have left him at the steakhouse or something. Right, so even though Logan was feeling some kind of way, he didn't want to do anything, man. There's so many, like, downsides to that situation. So he's sitting there, and then, like, Jess, dude, like, he's sitting there, and she, like, reaches out and, like, strokes his leg, and he's like, oh my God. Like, look, first of all, like, don't do that to random people. Obviously, you don't know what they're thinking, blah, blah, yeah. Disclaimer, whatever, dude. I'm just telling a story, man. Anyways, she, like, strokes his leg, and he's like, oh my God. Because here's the thing, like, total, like, it had always been, like, his kind of, like, his dark, like, his secret little fantasy that, like, his good friend, he's like, yeah, his sister's pretty hot, right? But, like, I couldn't do it, man. I could never do it. And also, she'd never want to do anything with me, man. Like, that's crazy, right? And then all of a sudden, right, it was all, like, coming true. It was all coming to fruition for this kid, right? And Logan's sitting there, like, oh, man, oh, no. So he kind of just, like, and the thing is, right, before, like, Logan was able to actually, like, respond and give her, like, an affirmative or a negative or, like, lean in or lean out or, I don't know, panic and start mining Bitcoin or something. But the thing is, like, the problem was Owen, like, he was, like, walking back from the bathroom. And here's the thing. Jess also knows that Owen would be mad at her, too, for trying to, like, get with his friend, right? Like, that's definitely something he had off limits, too. So she quickly, like, grabbed her hand away, and she stood up straight. She didn't do anything that weird. She wasn't like, hello, brother, I wasn't doing anything weird with your friend. Anyways, right, so, Logan is just sitting there, and, Owen got back, and, like, as Owen got back from the bathroom, like, their food came, the waiter came with, like, all their steaks and all that good stuff, and Logan's just sitting there like, oh my God. Like, so much is going through this kid's mind at this point, right? So much is going through his mind because there's like, he's sitting there, he's like, secret, dark, evil fantasy, but also something I've definitely wanted to do for a long time might actually come true. However, there are huge implications. Like, there are huge implications, man. Like, if Owen ever finds out, he might actually jump me, bro. I might not make it through the day. Like, if I do this, do I have to like write a letter to my parents if I don't make it? Like, do I have to sign a will? Should I buy a life insurance policy on myself in my mom's name? Or is that going to make her look like the whole thing was framed? Like, oh my God, what do I do? So he's just kind of sitting there, and there's a lot of tension now between like Logan and Jess. Like, they're just kind of looking at each other like, and Owen picks up on it a little bit. He's like, what? Like, what'd I do? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know, it's weird now. Because, like, I don't know, Owen kind of thought, like, maybe they, like, talked about him when he went to the bathroom or something. Turns out it was, like, significantly worse. He had no idea, though. But anyways, right, so they eventually go back home, and things are normal. It's not really that weird. I mean, it is a little weird because, Owen's older sister, I don't know actually her relationship, but Owen's sister, hopefully not, like, much younger sister, or this story would be a lot worse. We'll say older sister, right? I mean, the whole thing about Owen's older sister actually grabbing Logan's leg and having weird anyways, right? No, other than that, totally normal. But anyways, right, they got back, and, the plan is to watch a movie, and all three of them were good, because, like, they were having a good time together, quote-unquote, a good time. All I can say is Logan and Jess were definitely having a time together. It wasn't necessarily good, it definitely wasn't bad, it was just a lot. But anyways, right, so the plan was for all three of them to watch a movie together, right? That's totally fine. Like, what can really happen? Logan was thinking to himself, like, this is a dangerous zone I'm in, right? But he's like, you know what? As long as Owen is here, that's going to keep me true. That's going to keep me, like, that's fine. I won't do anything crazy or that I'd regret as long as Owen is here. And it's like, as he was, like, in the middle of that thought, Owen's like, hey, bro, I'm so sorry. I had hockey practice today. I've had it all week. I'm complete. I can't open my eyes anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed, but obviously, like, you and Jess, totally feel free to watch this movie. I've seen this movie before. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, yeah, I'll be going to bed. Like, you can do what you want, but, like, I'm sure, like, Jess will probably want to watch it. So, yeah, feel free to stay down here. I'm going to bed. Peace. Packs up his stuff, goes upstairs. At this point, Logan's like, oh boy. Speaking of movies, today's secret word of the day is movie. So if you made it this far into the video, comment movie in the comment section down below. I'm going to try and heart as many of those as I can. I mean, I'm in the middle of school right now, and, I'm trying to still have a life too. So I can't heart all of them, but I will heart I spend like at least an hour every day trying to like heart as many things as I can. So if you want to farm some hearts on the channel and maybe get top commenter or something, best way to do that is by commenting the secret word, which today is movie. And today, it's your lucky day. It might be your luckiest day of your entire life, dude. Because every single person who leaves a like on today's video will actually receive nothing at their doorstep. Like, I'm not even kidding you, dude. Leave a like on this video right now. Go ahead and do it. And in 2 to 3 business days, or however long it takes Amazon to ship nothing, you will receive nothing at your door. No need to thank me. I know you're tearing up at the generosity, but just leave a like. Trust me, it'll be great. Not a scam at all. Anyways, right at this point, Logan and Jess, they're both sitting on the couch. And it was originally Owen sitting in between the two of them, which, Logan was like, okay, phew, like, no way I can make a mistake now. But, Owen was tired. He had hockey practice. He went to bed. At this point, right, the movie was playing. But Logan he was not paying a lick of attention to the movie at this point. He had no idea. It could have been like a 5-hour long anime uncut. I don't even know, dude. Like, it could honestly be like anything on the screen. Logan wouldn't have known. It could have been like static, and he wouldn't have known, because he was just like zoning out, so just like, oh my, thinking deep in thought, like, should I make a move? I mean, if she makes a move, will I say yes? Can I say yes? I mean, Owen's my friend, dude. Like, oh my God, but like, just kind of bad though. LOL. Like that guy was like, I mean, And honestly, like, you might be thinking, like, oh my god, Connor, if I was in that situation, I would never do anything like that. I am morally superior. Like, I have some decency. And, maybe not, but, like, hey, man, I don't think you will be in this situation. That's not disrespect, right? I don't think I will ever be. This is a very unique situation is what I'm trying to say. And, it's almost like looking at history and being like, oh my God, they're so stupid. I would have obviously done this or whatever. It's like, yeah, in 2020 hindsight, yeah, it's very clear. But actually, no, this is a little more clear than like that example. That was kind of a crap example. Yeah, this is, anyways, I'm just going to tell you what happens. Because he makes a choice, and whether you agree with it or not, I can't really do anything about that, dude. I'm sorry. Anyways, while Logan was in the middle of this moral contradiction, this kind of fight with his inner self, right? He kind of snapped back into reality, or he more faded back into reality, and he noticed that. Remember, in the very a little while ago, it went Logan, Owen, and Jess, and then Owen left. But that meant that Jess was on the other side of the couch. When Logan snapped back to reality, Jess was right next to him, dude. She had moved, she had migrated. Everyone, at this point, Logan was like, okay, it's either we all know it's going down, right? We all know it's going down, baby. We already know. But anyways, Logan was like, oh my God, dude, and at that point, he had to make a choice. And yeah, Logan was just like, oh my God, I understand the implications of this. And he's like, okay, I think I've made a choice, man. I think I've made a choice. So Logan, very classic move. Probably probably this move was carved into those stone tablets that the cavemen used to carve their writing into or whatever. It is that classic of a move, right? He's going for the stretch, the stretch. He lifts his arm up and he puts it up, above, on top of the couch seat, above where she was. You've seen it 100,000 times before. You already know it's going down. Right, so at this point, Logan's feeling all sorts of things. There's blood rushing to all parts of his body. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm not going to go into details. If you want details, there's plenty of details on different websites. This is not the website you came for details like this, okay? I'm not going to go into details. That's awkward. I want lots and lots of advertisements on this video. Probably won't even get anything. It's January in the first place. YouTube doesn't pay you in January. So shout out channel members again, by the way. Love you. Big kisses from me. Anyways, right, so things go down, things happen, leave it to your imagination. Yes, they went together in on a Bitcoin mining gig, and they did anything that would be unacceptable. Nope, it was a nice holding hands at the... No, you know what I mean. Okay, so they definitely did something, and I'm not going to go into the details on it. Your dirty, disgusting, vile imaginations can come up with whatever revolting fantasy you want, okay? Go at it, kids, go at it. What the fuck? Anyways, right, so... whatever happens. And Jess is like, all right, I think I'm going to go to bed. See you tomorrow. And Logan's just sitting there on the couch like, what did I just do, dude? What did I do? Because he knows that this is straight up betrayal. He knows that this is Owen would not be okay with this dude. Because it's not like Owen's he's unaware and it's could play the ignorance card. Owen is definitely one of those kids. I don't know if he blatantly said that would... I think he never thought he had to say anything about it, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, Logan knew for a fact that, he has committed a massive betrayal to his friend. And that's why this story is a more of an interesting one, because normally the subscriber's oh my God, the subscriber got screwed over by this girl, she sucks. Or the teacher is the worst, the subscriber's the good guy. No, this is maybe the subscriber isn't the good guy in this one. Shout out to the guy for sending me this story, because it's interesting. But it's oh my God, not a clear-cut case, man. And he's kind of just sitting there, and he doesn't go to bed for a while, because he's was that worth it? Was that actually worth it, man? Oh my God. And here's the deal. Logan never told Owen. And Jess also never told Owen. And Logan and Owen are still friends to this day. But the thing is, Logan has, always kind of been a little bit, has been kind of like felt guilty about it. And he was like, he said he wanted like his story to be told. He wanted to tell someone. He wanted people to like see it without actually having to tell anyone. So yeah, not even joking. The story ends. The story's still going, man. Like, this is part of the story, dude. Owen still to this day has no idea. And obviously, I've changed enough details and I've used fake names that probably Owen, even if he saw this video, it would be different. He wouldn't know. Leave a like on this video to receive nothing. No, but what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. And just imagine this for a second. You go over to your friend's house, he was a pretty close friend, and you're just over there, you just want to chill. You had a long week. But all of a sudden, his sister just seems to be getting a little bit too close and a little bit too comfortable. And all of a sudden, she tries to make a move, and boom, your friend walks in, and it might be the most awkward situation of your entire life. Thankfully, this has never happened to me, but this did happen to a subscriber, and that will be today's story. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you're new, and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted the story Andrew. So anyways, right, this all happened one day when Andrew went over to his friend's Ben house. We're just going to call his friend Ben. So anyways, he goes over there. They're about, I think they're like 22, 23 at this time. So they're in college, and they go to separate colleges, but they went back home for the summer. They used to be pretty good friends in high school. So, Andrew went over to his house and, they're just kind of chilling because this is the small window of opportunity of time left that they have, to see each other because, after college, when they get full-time jobs, it's going to be even harder to see each other consistently. So they're taking advantage of the time that they have. Anyways, everyone in Ben's household, everyone in Ben's house who is in college came back. So as well, Ben has one other sibling. It is a younger sister who is 19, and she just went to college. Like, this is her first summer back. And yeah, so anyways, these are all the important details. Let's just jump into it. So, Andrew gets over there. He meets up with Ben. It's pretty cool because he hasn't seen the man in a second. And they have like I don't know, they had like a really good time in high school together. And they're catching up on how college was and like their craziest stories or whatever. And after talking for a little bit, they decide to go sit down on the couch, maybe see if like anything's on and kind of like casually chat with each other. Like, they're not going to like very intensely watch what's going on, but maybe just throw something on in the background as a little white noise or something like that. Yeah, so they sit down, they're on the couch, and that's when Ben hears someone coming down the stairs. And he looks up, and there's this girl that he kind of recognizes and kind of assumes is Ben's sister, who's like a couple years younger. I think she's 19 at this point. Andrew never knew this girl, but he thinks that he's like seen her before. Maybe they met like once or something like that. And this girl comes down. And Ben's like, oh, dude, like, this is my sister. Like, I don't know if you've met her before, but, like, yeah, I mean, maybe, but it's definitely been a second. And she's like, hey, like, it's nice to meet you again, Ben, or Andrew. And Andrew's like, hey, like, nice to meet you too. But here's where things start to get a little strange and a little bit weird, and where, let's just say that Ben might have began to believe that something was a little bit up. So, it's good to make eye contact in a conversation. Definitely, like, when you make eye contact with someone, you're kind of showing that, like, yeah, like, I'm confident, like, I got this, right? But she was making a lot of eye contact with him. She's making a lot of eye contact. Like, she was just looking into the depths of his soul, dude. And she just kept staring. Even when the conversation ended, like, she just kept staring. And, like, Andrew was, like, kind of flickering his eyes back and forth and would occasionally, like, look at her eyes just to see that she was still staring at him. And he's like, okay. And, she says something again. She's like, so, Andrew, like, how's college going? And it's only been like 3 minutes and things are already about to get pretty weird. So he's like, yeah, college is pretty good. Like, my classes haven't been that bad. I'm in a suite with a lot of my friends, so that's pretty cool. And while he's saying this, she makes intense eye contact with him, and then she bites her frickin' lip, dude. Like, she full on bites her lip. And Andrew, in the middle of a sentence, is like, yeah, so I'm in this, it just completely breaks his train of thought because, dude, this girl is literally biting her lip while looking at his soul, and it's his friend's little sister. Nah, this is way too crazy. So Andrew can gets himself. He's like, oh, yeah, college has been good. Like, how was your first year? And she was like, it's been great. Like, I really enjoyed myself. And Ben's like, all right, well, cool. We're going to go back to talking, so if you want to go back upstairs, kind of motions to the little sister that, like, hey, man, like, I'm trying to chill with my friend. She's like, all right, bye, guys. She goes up the stairs. And Andrew sits back on the couch, and they're kind of just watching what's going on. And in Andrew's mind, he's like, dude, that was freaking weird. Like, I don't know if I'm imagining things. Maybe she's just, like, really flirty with everyone. But, like, that was really weird. Obviously, Andrew doesn't say anything because this would be an awkward thing to bring up. But, yeah, anyways, so they decide that after a little while, it's a pretty hot day out today. Or that day, not today. It's a pretty hot day out that day. Ben had a pool in the backyard. Ben's house is actually pretty sick, but he had a pool in the backyard. And, Andrew did bring his, like, trunks or whatever because, like, he knew it was a hot day. And Ben's like, dude, like, I got a pool. And Andrew's like, yeah, man, I remember. We had a lot of good times in there with, like, water gun fights in, like, sophomore year of high school. So, yeah, he brought his trunks. They go in, they get changed, and they go outside, and they chill in the pool. And it's enjoyable, man. I mean, it's a hot, like, 90-degree day. The water's nice. It's kind of like a warm water, so it's really nice to be in. Like, it was a little cool for, like, the first second, but it was just such a good experience, right? They're just chilling out, right? They got their, they got their drinks by the poolside. They're sitting, enjoying the sun. Whenever it gets too hot, they just hop in the pool. Like, it is a fantastic time that they have going out there. However, right, everything was pretty good. Everything was pretty good until Andrew noticed something. So, since they're guys, they have swim trunks and they're not wearing swim shirts. So, yeah, Andrew is in his swim trunks without his shirt on. And he just happens to look upstairs. He just happens to look at the house, right? And he just happens to look in the second floor window, right? Because, I don't know, he just happens to see that. And who does he see in the second floor window? Dude, he sees Ben's little sister staring at him from the frickin' window, dude. And immediately, I mean, Andrew doesn't stare back. He looks down, but he was kind of forgetting about the really awkward situation that just happened like 2 hours ago. It had completely passed his mind until he saw, the little sister once again staring him down from the window. And then immediately he's like, yeah, no, this is definitely not a coincidence. So he very awkwardly sits back in the chair. And he's like, okay, no way she's still up there because, she knows that I just caught her staring. There's not a chance that she's still up there. So Andrew kind of turns around once again. This time he, picks up his phone because his phone is on the ground, and he twists all the way around, and he looks up just, very briefly. She's still in the window. She's still staring down. And he's like, nah, this is too freaking weird. So Andrew's like, hey, man, you want to go back inside and, hop on your, I don't know. They might have had table tennis or in the basement or something like that. And, Ben's like, yeah, dude, sure, it's getting a little hot out here anyways. So they pack up, they go inside. And, so those were some pretty strange experiences. However, the rest of that day was pretty chill. The plan was for Andrew to stay the night, just because, throwback, good old sleepover type thing. Maybe he's going to stay a couple days. Who even knows? I mean, Andrew's an adult at this point, I guess. He's 23 or something. So, they're sitting upstairs, and after having, dinner or whatever, it's 9:30, 10, and they're just sitting on the couch again, and they're watching something. And Ben's like, dude, I'm so sorry to say this, but, I barely got any sleep last night because I was an idiot and, basically stayed up all night, playing video games with my friends. I am exhausted. If you don't mind, I am going to go to sleep now. And you feel free to stay up, though. It's 10. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep on a normal night, at 10 right now. So it totally makes sense if you want to stay up, dude. I'm just going to bed now. And Andrew had no problem with this. He's like, all right, man, that's cool. I'm just going to stay on here for, maybe an hour or so, maybe a couple hours, just watch some TV. Don't worry about it. And Ben's like, once again, sorry. I'm barely able to keep my eyes open. And Andrew did notice that, Ben was, nodding off, half the time. So he's like, yeah, that's cool. Anyways, though, so if Ben gets up, he goes upstairs. So Andrew's just sitting on the couch. Things are pretty normal. Things are pretty okay. He's just watching some TV or whatever. That's when he hears footsteps coming down the stairs. And he kind of thought to himself, well, it's probably Ben. Maybe he's not as tired as he thought. Maybe he needs to, ask me something. But no, that's not the case. Because this is a pretty big couch. It's big enough, I guess. And Andrew's little sister comes down and sits on the couch. And, not Andrew. Ben's little sister comes down and sits on the couch. And Andrew is just shit. Anyways, guys, we made it this far into the video. The secret word of the day. Let's just make it couch. Let's literally just make it couch. So if you don't know how to spell that, then try and just comment that down below. I'm gonna heart as many comments as I can that comment. Sorry, I can't speak. I'm gonna heart as many comments that say couch down below. And real quick, I say this every time, but the best way to support the channel is just binge watch the old videos. So just like when you have nothing better to do or while you're like doing something else, put on my videos in the background. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you're doing while watching my videos in the background. It really does support the channel, so I'll try and like heart and respond to as many comments as I can see that are saying like, oh, I do X or Y while watching a bunch of your videos. Because I really do appreciate it, man. I really do. So yeah, let's get back to the story because obviously things are getting a little bit interesting right here. Anyways, so Andrew's sitting on the couch and he's kind of just like, he kind of like froze up a little bit, but he turns and kind of makes eye contact and smiles and says like, what's up? Because he's not going to be like a weirdo and like not say anything. And Andrew's old sister's like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I was just bored up there. Like, I haven't seen my friends in such a long time. And like, I don't know, just you being over here is cool. Someone to talk to. Sorry, this voice is really bad, but you're going to have to deal with it, dude. You subscribe to this channel. You knew what you were signing on to. Anyway, she's like, so, Andrew, like, how was college for you? Like, do you have like a girlfriend back there? Which, dude, immediate red flag. Like, there's immediately a red flag on that one. I mean, bro, she literally, like, instead of saying, how is school? How is your classes? Who are your friends? Can I see photos? What did you do for spring break? There's a million other things you say, and then you say, oh, do you have a girlfriend, bro? Like, oh, come on now. You might as well just be saying, like, hey, can I see down your pants? Like, that's essentially what you're saying here, dude. But anyways. Andrew's like, I could make up that I have a girlfriend, and I could definitely stunt this. However, Andrew's like, I'm not trying to lie or anything. Like, I'm not trying to get myself into a situation, which in retrospect, Andrew says that he 100,000 trillion% should have lied here, but he didn't. He's like, no, I don't. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just not been like, I haven't been really lucky in that category, but that happens. And yeah, that's when Ben's little sister goes on to say, you know, honestly, me too. It's just, you know, it's something I've really wanted. I really just wanted a connection with a guy. Like, it's been a while. I've just had a lot of bad luck recently. And she just kind of looks at him and gives him this look. And Andrew's like, okay, man. Okay, chill, Andrew. Calm down. Breathe. Breathing exercises. You're good, dude. You're chilling. Don't even sweat about it. And she's like, so, like, if you were to have a girlfriend or just a girl in general, what would you like to see in her? And at this point, she starts to like move closer to him and he's like, hey, yo, bro, no, like this cannot be happening. This is not my best friend, but one of my close friends. Little sis, no, I'm reading this wrong, dude. She understands this can't happen, right? I mean, it's not just me. I'm just not the crazy one here. Has to be both of them, right, dude? Like, right? Like, yes, no? And he's like, I don't really know. Like, I mean, I think I'll know when I see her. And like Andrew's little sister like laughs and is like, so, like, what do you want to watch? And he's like, because he just had like South Park on or something. She's like, let me put something on for you. And here's the thing, dude. The remote was like right next to him. So she really quickly scoots up right next to him and grabs the remote. And Andrew is just sweating buckets right now. Like just big piles of sweat start dripping down his face. Okay, that's more metaphorically. He doesn't sweat like that. But mentally, he was sweating buckets right now. And she's like, you know, like, I'm kind of cold right now. And it was like 70 degrees, dude. It wasn't that freaking cold. But there was like a blanket. She goes over, grabs a blanket, dude. And she's like, while she's sitting right next to him, puts the blanket over both of them. And Andrew's like, oh, hell nah, bro. Oh, hell, like, I'm in a nightmare, dude. I'm in a nightmare. Like, there's no freaking way, dude. And she's like, Andrew, I'm really surprised that you don't have a girlfriend right now. And Andrew's just like, no, dude, like, no, this can't. He's like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I can't always be lucky, man. Like, and Andrew's just like, this is really, really bad. And she's like, because, you know, I was just really surprised because I thought, you know, you're just like a really nice guy and you're also kind of cute. Like, I knew that's weird for me to say since I'm your... What the fuck am I saying, bro? This story is not okay, dude. This story is not okay, but look, dude, it's a good story. I gotta tell it. She's like, but like, I just wanted you to know that. And after she said that, Andrew's just like tensed up, and she leans in. That was an intentional pause. I just wanted to set the atmosphere. I wanted you to absorb what just happened. She freaking leaned in, dude. She leaned in. And while that is happening, it is the worst timing ever, because it just so happened that, Ben, who was asleep, got up because he was thirsty. So he walked downstairs because he wanted to get a glass of water. And while he was walking by the room, which was right next, because like the living room with the TV and the couch or whatever was right next to the kitchen, while he was walking into the kitchen to get a glass of water, that was the exact moment that, his little sister was leaning in to give Andrew a good old little kiss. And they are under the blankets together. It is bad. So immediately Ben's like, what the is happening over here? And like at this point, Ben's little sister turns around and Andrew's like, no way, bro. This is a sting operation. I've been set up. This isn't real life. This is not real life. It can't be, dude. It can't be real life. No way. And he's like, he like walks up and Ben's little sister's like, it's not what you think, Ben. Like, it's not. And he's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. Ben's little sister's like, I'm really tired. I'm going to go upstairs. And yeah, that voice is cursed, bro. I'm sorry, guys. Genuinely, I'm sorry. Anyway, she goes upstairs. She doesn't come back. So end of the Ben's little sister voice. That's gone. That's gone for at least another video. And Andrew's just like looking at Ben. And Ben's looking at him. And Ben is not having it. He is really pissed. He's like, dude, you have 5 seconds to explain what just happened there. And he's like, look, I was sitting on the couch. She came down. She was like talking to me a lot. And like, she just like leaned in as soon as you came. I would have obviously said no. And Ben's like, well, then why were you both under a blanket then? Like, that doesn't make sense. You didn't account for this. And like Andrew starts like walking in on Ben, and Ben like gets up for a second. He's like, whoa. Let's not do anything too crazy. He's like, dude, I swear nothing happened. And if she tried anything, I would have said no. Like, look, she's been weird the whole day about it. I obviously don't want to like do anything like that. Like, I hope that you believe me on this. And Andrew's like, I don't know who to believe here, because all I know is that I went upstairs, and when I came down, my sister was under the blankets with you and basically on top of you, dude. That's all I know. And Andrew's like, dude, I know this looks really bad. Trust me. I don't want any of this. I don't want. Go up and talk to her right now, and I just go, like, I hope she says the truth. Andrew's like, okay. Or Ben's like, okay, all right. I'll see you in 5 minutes then. And he walks upstairs. And Andrew's just sitting there. He is like in the middle of just like he's panicking. He's sweating. He feels sick to his stomach. It's just like the worst situation he's ever been in like his entire life or whatever. And eventually Ben comes back downstairs and Andrew's like, so? And Ben's like, well, I mean, she told me that, that nothing happened and that, yeah, that's all she wanted to say. And Andrew's like, all right, so we're chill then. And Ben's like, yeah. We're good. I'm going to go back to bed. Yeah, so it's... Andrew's like, God damn it, dude. Like, is this really real life right now? Really? So yeah, the next day comes around. It's really awkward in the morning. Like, Andrew can't tell if Ben is, like, super mad or just really tired and, like, I don't know, just not saying a lot. But it wasn't super clear, or they didn't make it like super clear beforehand if Andrew's going to stay a couple days or just one. So Andrew kind of makes up an excuse. It's like, hey, man, like, I got to go back home, like, for lunch. My parents, like, my grandparents are in town or whatever. It's good seeing you. Like, let's try and link up one more time before I leave. And he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. Yeah, you know what happens? Ben and Andrew don't link up after that. While it was 0% Andrew's fault, maybe he could have, like, lied about having a girlfriend or just... Maybe, I don't even know. It wasn't his fault, bro. It wasn't his fault. But yeah, unfortunately, Andrew and Ben, this story was kind of recent. This happened this summer. But they just haven't really, like, talked afterwards. Like, they don't text, they don't do anything. They haven't met up again. Hopefully, right, they get over each other. Like, it'll, like, be in the past at some point. Or maybe, like, Ben will be able to show Andrew, or Andrew will be able to show Ben this video to really get his perspective. But, yeah, moral of the story is lie always. Wait, that can't be the
Click on the
moral.
video
What?
on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.